There's a 73% chance the olive oil in your kitchen right now isn't actually extra virgin. Let that sink in for a second. The University of California, Davis tested the top-selling brands, the ones you see at every grocery store, and nearly 3/4 failed basic quality standards. We're talking about oils so defective they were classified as not fit for human consumption. And here's the real kicker. You've probably been cooking with rancid, fermented oil for years and didn't even know it because that's what Americans have been conditioned to think olive oil tastes like. So let's talk about the 8 olive oil brands that range from absolute garbage to actually worth your money, because life's too short to drizzle rancid lamp fuel on your salad. Smash that subscribe button because we're about to save you from some seriously fraudulent bottles. Number 8, Amazon Fresh Grocery Organic Extra Virgin Olive Oil. Amazon dominates online shopping, but when it comes to olive oil, their private label proves that convenience doesn't equal quality. This organic Evo checks the certified organic box while failing spectacularly at being actual olive oil. Open the bottle and you're greeted with pale yellow color suggesting degraded olives and minimal to zero aroma. The taste delivers accurate blandness, flat and lifeless, completely lacking the peppery throat burn that signals polyphenol antioxidants. The mouthfeel is reminiscent of cheap vegetable oil, leaving a watery slick instead of a clean finish. Tasting Table ranked it dead last among all grocery store olive oils. Professional tasters called it deeply off-putting and suggested it tastes more suitable for furniture polish than food. And get this, Amazon's business model prioritizes speed and volume over quality. They're banking on customers who sort by organic and prime eligible, without understanding that certification doesn't guarantee the oil isn't rancid garbage. They know most buyers won't return a $5 bottle even if it tastes like motor oil. When professional tasters say your product is better suited for woodworking than cooking, you've created liquid disappointment. At any price, this is vegetable oil cosplay. Number 7, Pompeian Extra Virgin. Olive oil founded in 1906. Pompeian carries over a century of brand recognition and exactly 0 harvest dates on their bottles. This farmer-owned company opened a quality control center in 2017, which makes it particularly baffling that their oils still fail independent testing with spectacular consistency. The taste profile delivers bland, underwhelming oil that lacks genuine olive character. Experts describe it as tired and flat. The aroma hits you with overripe fruit smell instead of fresh greenness. Oliveoil.com rated their smooth variety 0.1 out of 5, with tasting notes of oxidized, rancid fermentation, not recommended. Common defects include tastes like old nuts, stale crackers, and waxy crayons. Here's the thing, Pompeian failed the UC Davis study as part of the 73% imported brand failure rate. The polyphenol content clocks in at 150 to 300 milligrams per kilogram when premium oils contain 600 to 900. At 35 cents per ounce, it's positioned as an extreme budget option. Pompeian targets price-sensitive mainstream Americans who equate smooth with good because they've never tasted real extra virgin olive oil. The company knows that 44% of US consumers actually prefer defective oil. They've been conditioned by decades of rancid products. Bottom line, when your smooth variety scores 0.1 and gets flagged as not recommended, smooth is just another word for garbage. You're paying for a 100-year-old logo attached to oil that should have been lamp fuel. Number 6, Bertolli Extra Virgin Olive Oil. Bertolli settled a $7 million class action lawsuit in 2018 for slapping imported from Italy on bottles filled with Tunisian and Spanish olives. Before 2001, European law had a convenient loophole. If you bottled oil in Italy, you could call it Italian olive oil, regardless of where the olives actually came from. 80% of their oil has never seen an Italian olive tree. The oil is marketed as smooth and gentle, industry code words for defective, low-quality oil lacking EBU's characteristic bitterness. It's sold in clear bottles that expose oil to light, causing oxidation and rancidity before you even buy it. Common defects include waxy mouthfeel, stale taste, and greasy residue. The $7 million settlement paid 75 cents to $1.50 per bottle refunds. There was a 2016 recall across 20 states for quality failures. The Italian Antitrust Authority fined them for mislabeling in Italy, fraud on both continents. What makes this particularly Infuriating is that Bertolli's parent company, Berio, discovered Americans will pay premium prices for Italian branding even when the product is demonstrably fake. They marketed smooth oils because authentic extra virgin's peppery bitterness makes Americans cough. The $7 million settlement was just cost of doing business. When you're paying for Passione Italiana and getting Tunisian oil in a light degraded bottle, you're not buying olive oil, you're buying a lie. Number 5, Filippo Berio Extra Virgin. Olive oil Filippo Berio is the third largest olive oil brand in America, with $137 million in sales, and they settled their own $5 million fraud lawsuit in 2017 for the exact same imported from Italy scam as Bertolli. Delish editors described the taste as muddy and harsh, with flavors so unpleasant it's noticeable in your food and not in the best way. They said they would only use it begrudgingly if found in grandma's pantry, damning criticism from food professionals. The $5 million settlement paid consumers just 50 cents per bottle, while attorneys took nearly $1 million in fees. There was a kill switch provision allowing the settlement to be canceled if payouts exceeded $5 million, designed to minimize actual consumer compensation. The actual origin is Greece, Tunisia, and Spain, bottled in Italy for the labeling loophole. The most absurd part is that Filippo Berio exists because Italian branding sells at premium prices even when the product is demonstrably inferior. The settlement with its kill switch provision was designed to look like accountability while ensuring minimal actual payout to victims. You're paying for Italian theater while getting an oil so harsh and muddy that food critics would only use it begrudgingly. When your settlement includes a kill switch to avoid paying victims, that's not a business, that's a scam with branding. If this is already saving you from wasting money on fake olive oil, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss what's next. Number 4, Colavita Extra Virgin Olive Oil. Colavita is a family-owned Italian company dating back to 1938, and they've mastered the art of making one product that home cooks love and experts despise. With 4.7 stars on Amazon and a scathing pan from the Delish Test Kitchen's blind tasting, this brand represents the perfect split between American palates conditioned to accept mediocrity and professionals who know what real olive oil should taste like. Consumers describe it as smooth, not bitter, and tastes like fresh olives without harshness. Experts counter with tired, flat, astringent, and lacks character. It's a multi-origin blend from Italy, Greece, Spain, and Portugal. Percentages undisclosed. The Delish blind test verdict, overwhelmingly panned by our editors. Colavita failed the UC Davis study as part of the 73% imported failure group. There are no harvest dates on bottles. Oil age completely unknown. At 70 to 90 cents per ounce, it occupies mid-range positioning. But here's where it gets tricky. Colavita succeeds because Americans have been trained to think bitter equals bad, when bitterness in olive oil signals healthy polyphenols and freshness. The brand blends oils from 4 countries to achieve year-round consistency, which sounds good until you realize consistency means consistently mediocre. When home cooks give you 5 stars for being smooth and experts pan you for being flat, you've perfected the art of selling mediocrity to a market that doesn't know better. Number 3, California Olive Ranch Extra Virgin Olive Oil. California Olive Ranch emerged as American olive oil's authenticity champion, passing UC Davis testing when 73% of imports failed spectacularly. Cooks Illustrated called it as good as any European oil and ranked it number 1 among California producers. The taste delivers fresh, grassy, bright flavor with green apple and artichoke notes and a gentle pepper finish. The aroma hits you with fresh-cut grass and fruity, herbaceous notes. Smells like actual olives. Customer consensus. Actually tastes like olive oil, not cardboard. California Olive Ranch passed UC Davis authenticity tests when major brands failed. It carries Cook certification, meeting strict California state standards. The polyphenol content measures 300 to 400 milligrams per kilogram. Moderate, not premium. At 76 cents to $1.20 per ounce, it offers excellent quality per dollar value. California Olive Ranch exists because the UC Davis fraud revelations created demand for verifiable domestic oil. They're filling the authenticity gap while competing on price against cheaper imports. The mild flavor profile is strategic, approachable enough for Evo beginners without the aggressive bitterness that makes Americans reject premium oils. This is real olive oil at fair prices, the gateway drug for Americans ready to graduate from rancid imports. Not extraordinary, but honest. Sometimes that's revolutionary enough, and if you're finding this ranking useful, hit the like button. It really helps the channel cut through the noise. Number 2, Kirkland Signature. Organic extra virgin olive oil. Costco's Kirkland Signature line has a reputation for quietly outperforming name brands, and their organic extra virgin olive oil might be the most remarkable example. Bureau Veritas certified, UC Davis validated, and chef endorsed by Salmon Nosrat, this 2-liter plastic jug delivers authentic Evo at $11 per liter, half the price of competitors charging double for inferior oil. The organic variety tastes fruity with green apple and nut notes, well-rounded without aggressive pepperiness. The aroma is mild but present with hints of grass and fruit. What sets it apart is that it actually passes authenticity testing with Bureau Veritas third-party verification. The polyphenol content measures 370 milligrams per kilogram, moderate but legitimate. UC Davis testing showed it passed when 73% of imports failed. There's zero adulteration with seed oils, genuine 100% EVOO. Pricing runs 22 to 44 cents per ounce. Costco leverages massive purchasing power to source authentic oil at wholesale prices, passing savings directly to members. They're competing against fraudulent imports by offering transparency and certification at half the cost. The Bureau Veritas stamp is strategic. Third-party validation builds trust in a market drowning in counterfeits. $11 for authentic, certified, extra virgin olive oil that passes professional testing isn't a deal. It's proof that everyone else is massively overcharging for garbage. Number 1. Kirkland Signature California Extra Virgin Olive Oil. If Costco's organic variety proves that authentic EVOO doesn't require premium pricing, their 1-liter California oil in dark glass proves that domestic production can compete with the world's best. At $11.99 for glass-bottled California-grown oil with visible harvest dates, this represents American olive oil coming of age. Robust, fruity, and peppery with the kind of finish that makes you cough in the best possible way. This is what olive oil should taste like. The taste comes through robust and fruity with a pronounced peppery finish and hints of green grass and herbs. The aroma hits fresh and vibrant, distinctly olive forward. The throat sensation delivers a pleasant burn from oleocanthal, the anti-inflammatory compound also found in ibuprofen. The dark glass bottle protects from light degradation unlike those clear plastic disasters. Harvest dates are printed right on the label. Transparency about freshness. It's 100% California sourced and pressed. Glass packaging eliminates phthalate concerns and light exposure. The price sits at $11.99 per liter, still cheaper than fraudulent imports. This oil exists because California's 2014 grade and labeling standards created enforceable quality requirements with mandatory testing for large producers. Costco sources from verified California producers who must meet strict chemical and sensory standards, then bottles in glass to preserve freshness. $11.99 for California-grown oil in dark glass with harvest dates visible. This is how you compete against Mediterranean fraud. When domestic producers prioritize quality and retailers prioritize transparency, you get the gold standard. You now know more about olive oil than 95% of shoppers wandering the grocery aisle, which means you'll never waste money on rancid garbage again. Amazon Fresh proved that organic certification can't save fundamentally terrible oil, while Kirkland's California variety showed that $11.99 can buy better quality than $15 Italian frauds. Here's what actually matters: dark glass bottles, harvest dates you can verify, domestic production with enforced standards, and that peppery throat burn that signals real polyphenols. Italian labels mean nothing. Smooth tastes mean degraded oil. And if it doesn't make you cough a little, it's probably not doing much for your health either. The 73% failure rate isn't a bug. It's the business model. Don't fall for it. Hit subscribe if this changed how you'll buy olive oil, and drop a comment telling us which brand you swear by or which ranking you think we got wrong.